Okay, so what this is I am starting a video diary of overcoming anxiety. So I have agoraphobia, which means I rarely leave my home unattended because it causes anxiety. So so this is day one of my video diary, and I am going to just go do the things I need to do and check in with myself and just talk about how I'm feeling as I'm going through this. And every time I do it, it's a step closer to overcoming and just feeling like I'm beating this. Having anxiety and agoraphobia like I do is basically something that you kind of have to just treat as a habit, kind of like a drug addict or an alcoholic or somebody who overeats, whatever. My brain over the years has gotten to the habit of creating fear when there is nothing to fear and all that kind of stuff, and so therefore it caused me to start avoiding places and things and doing things that I actually enjoy doing and want to continue to do and want to do. So today I have got to go to the store. I want to get some plants that help repel mosquitoes. And before I even got in the car, I'm just going to give you kind of an update as to how I'm feeling. I was kind of feeling like, I'm lightheaded, I'm dizzy. So I ate some pecans and some cheese, and I've got my water here. So that I'm ready. And I could tell that's like my brain going, hey, you don't feel good. Let's not go. Let's not do this because anything can happen, blah, 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 blah. It's that talk that just drives you nuts in your head. So I'm already a little anxious, but I'm going to try a few new techniques that I've learned. I've done a few of these before where, so I've been working on my anxiety for a long time, up and down. It just goes and does whatever. But recently I have been pushing myself, not pushing, but just doing what I need to do. And I thought, maybe it would be a good thing to record this in ways like, so I can go back and look at it later when I have overcome it, because my goal is to overcome my agoraphobia for sure. Anxiety might always be a part of my life just based on my past and things that have happened to me. I do have PTSD from life, I don't know what you say, life experiences or the past. And so anxiety might just be a part of, kind of who I am, where I get more anxious than maybe others, or I have a default. So when I get scared, like when you get scared because you walk into a bear, you run into a bear in the woods and you want to flee, like that's a good response. However, I could be just standing in the kitchen pouring a cup of coffee and can go right into a panic attack or want to leave. So same thing with just going outside by myself and things like that. So I thought it'd be good to just like record this and kind of what is it called, document it, in case somebody else could use it and benefit from it, because really that's what it's about. I mean, if you have anxiety, you know that you'd never wish it on your worst enemy. And if you found a way to overcome it or, learn techniques to do those things, you probably want to share it with other people who have it, because that's, most of us want to help other people. We're not, just in it for ourselves. So I've always wanted to. I've had good responses multiple times up and down my life, but for the last, I'd say 7 years, I've been on the bottom and I'm just done. I'm, kind of was able to understand it more. Like I thought I understood anxiety and I know like what my triggers were and all that, but there were years where it was good and I could do and go places and do things. And in the last like 7 years, it's just been awful. And so I've been, kind of pushing myself. I did start taking a new medication that seems to help at least get me past just the feelings of anxiety, like always being shaky or whatever. And so now that that's kind of stabilized, I've been pushing myself. And like I said, I just wanted to start this video and maybe video all of my excursions, not only to share with you, but I honestly believe it helps me just talking about it, even though nobody's listening. It's like, it's distracting too. So that's kind of good. And I'm not driving right now, but if I'm driving, I'm not going to be looking at the camera or anything like that. And I hope I don't get pulled over, because that would be embarrassing. So what I'm going to do today is, like I said, I want to go get some plants. I won't take you into the store with me, but depending on how I feel, it could be a minute. It could be 10 minutes between me turning on the camera, 10, 20 minutes if I feel pretty good in the store. So it's 11:15 right now on June 6th, 2019. And I have to be back to pick up my daughter at 12:21 from lunch. So I have some time to really kind of put myself out there. So I think I'm ready to do this. I think talking has kind of distracted me a little bit. I am going to turn my air conditioner on because I am warm. And hopefully it doesn't affect the sound too much. We're going to go to Fred Meyer's. It's not far, but if you have anxiety, it doesn't matter how far things are. Things can jump out at you. Quickly, let me talk about a technique that I've recently discovered. It's called the 5-second rule. Mel Robbins, I believe, is the one that, I don't know if she created it, but she's the one that claimed it, the 5-second rule. This is like angled weird. And so I recently had listened to a few of her books, and it really got me to go, oh, okay, I get that, because you really need to change your dialogue in your head. And when you count backwards, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, she explains like all the scientific stuff where it kind of changes your prefrontal lobe and does all this stuff, which I am not scientific about the brain. Don't want to pretend that I am. So anyway, so I've been trying it like at home and in my life in other areas where I'm just like, okay, I need to do this, or I get a thought and I'm like, whoa, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and focus on something else really quick. And she has other ideas where you do anchor thoughts and stuff, which I think are great, especially if you were gonna, like, if you have a fear of flying, doing that so that you can get through the flight. Anxiety, like agoraphobia, is a little bit different, to the point of it's so continuous, like it's an avoidance thing. So when I start to kind of think of it, I might not be saying it, I might just in my head say 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 without you guys hearing it, and then I will probably just focus on, okay, I'm driving, like simple things to bring me back in, to shut down that habit. It's just a habit. It's like no different than, somebody who's addicted to meth or whatever, and, they just always want another hit or whatever you want to call it. And my brain just goes, oh, the habit of panic and fear. But the great thing that I've learned is that your body doesn't know the difference between excitement and fear. The feelings are the exact same. So you can change the way your brain responds if you say, oh no, I'm not afraid, I'm just excited, which I'm excited to get my life back. I'm super excited, and I'm tired of living like this. I'm almost 45 years old, and I am just like, this shit's gotta end. So pardon my language, but I gotta put an end to this. It's only gonna be me. Just like an addict, you can only fix yourself. Nobody else, you're not gonna do it for somebody else. It's just me. I have quit smoking in my life. I've quit drinking in my life. Other things, and I can quit this too. I can change my brain. I can stop thinking that everything is scary and think this is exciting because I'm moving on and I'm progressing. So that's what I'm attempting to do. And I want to use this technique because I really think it'll help. I've seen it help me in things in the house and other situations. So I want to put it to work, and I thought it'd be good for people to see how that works. So I'm going to try and vocalize when I need to. But if I don't, I'm going to talk to you about it after the fact. So right now I'm doing it. I'm kind of like, okay, let's go. Let's, I feel fine now. So if I'm checking my sensations and everything, I really feel fine. I'm not moving around much. So who knows if I'm like lightheaded or whatever, but a lot of that is just my brain was already saying things. And so my body is responding to it. So if I tell my brain, no, I'm not excited, then it tells my body, just calm down. She's just excited. It's not like we need to get out of here or stop. So I just keep doing that. And also, just to give you a heads up, I am a woman of faith. So, you know, I pray to the Lord, I speak to Jesus, I call on Jesus when I need to. But I was struggling with this like whole thing where Mel Robbins is really scientific and she never gave glory to God or anything like that. And I get that because some people don't want to put that out there. But I am definitely gonna do that because, you know, the Holy Spirit resides in me, but it doesn't mean that my brain isn't messed up or hasn't learned things that it didn't need to learn. So I've been able to go, because at first I was like, that's like taking Jesus out of all of it. And I don't like the thought of that. Well, you know what? Jesus created her too. God created her and she came up with this thing. And if this works, then no matter what, it's all from God, in my opinion. But there's a separation between your heart and your mind. And our mind can definitely, that's where, you know, you can go from a thought to complete sin, you know. And so, you know, I'm not broken, I'm not saved, I'm not this. My brain has just got into the habit of responding to things with fear as opposed to anything else. It's got this habit and it just keeps going, and I just want more and I just want more. Not that I want it, because I in my heart do not want this and I wouldn't want it for anybody, but my brain just does it on its own. Like, and now I've found a technique to bring me back, which is the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then, hey, this is just a habit. I'm going to overcome this habit just like I quit smoking, just like I quit drinking. No problems. I'm going to do it. I have not smoked a cigarette in over 20-something years. I have not drank in over 25 years. And, I mean, I've had a drink here and there, like a hot toddy, but I don't keep drinking. But with anxiety, I mean, I've had it majority of my life, but knowing where it's like the big points, it's been over 25, almost 30 years that I've been dealing with this. And agoraphobia has been part of that for at least 20, probably closer to 25, dealing with that, which just sucks because that's like basically more than half my life, and I'm done. So anyways, let's get going. Let's go to Fred Meyer. Oh, I was going to try and keep things quiet as to where I am and all that, because I don't want like personal things getting out if it is. But I'm going to be pretty open with you anyways, because I think that that's the only way to really help people. Like if I'm sitting here saying things and you're like, wow, she sounds crazy. Well, then maybe you don't have anxiety and you don't need this. That's kind of the way I see it, because if somebody with anxiety wants to see what it's like to try and these things and overcome it, or is just wants to see this crazy lady talking to herself, basically, then don't judge. You wouldn't judge me. You'd be like, okay, cool. Like, hey, maybe this is a good thing. So I'm gonna let God use this wherever it goes and wherever it ends up. But for me, this is a diary of me taking the steps to end the habit of anxiety and agoraphobia and fear in my life. Obviously, I'm not going to teach myself not to run from a bear, but, you know, in the simplest things, I need to, somebody just texted me and it came up on the screen. I'll deal with that later. But I need to do this for not only my life, but my husband and my girls. Like, I want them to know Mama's brave, Mama's strong. I think they already know that because they've known a lot of things, but you know, I want to make them proud and make them realize that, hey, she took it upon herself to do what needed to be done. I don't want to rely only on medication. I know there's medication out there that you can take. They call them like emergency pills that'll just basically make me totally chill. And although that sounds great, scares the bejeebus out of me. I have a fear of medications, drugs, things like that. I don't like the way they make me feel. I don't agree with them. That is another thing from my past, that a life of living with prescription drug addict or whatever you want to call it. So I don't want to do that. So the medication that I'm taking now is called Cymbalta, and my job has created a lot of pain in my neck and shoulders, and so it works on that kind of stuff, as well as it's been known to work for anxiety. And what it does is I'm not exactly sure how it works, but it allows you to not have those sensations be so strong when they're not necessary. So I don't know how it does that, because of course if I ran into a bear, I'd run. And maybe I shouldn't run. I don't know the whole trick to that curl up in a ball thing. I saw it on a movie one time. But your body's not responding when it shouldn't. So it knows what it's doing, and God bless the people who created it, because it has kind of helped me get down to that level where now I can really try things. And so that's what I'm doing. So let's go. I keep yakking and I'm not driving, and I'm running out of time. So I'm going to run out of time to shop and push myself if I don't go soon, because I got to go pick up my kid. So let's head out. It's really amazing how just, you know, even though technically I'm talking to myself because I have no clue if anybody else, I think people will see this. I think the goal is to do this and then put it out and, you know, take people along with me, but it definitely does, it's such a distraction too, because I feel like I need to keep talking to you, that it's pretty cool. I mean, it works. Sit away. I don't know. I might have just got really quiet. Oh, somebody's getting a new roof here too. A lot of roof work, a lot of work going on. We've actually had decent weather lately. Holy cow, it's nice. So it's allowed for us to be able to get stuff done. As another part of my therapy, if you will, I am a really creative person, and so I have all these things that I do. I make signs, I refinish furniture, I build things, and that's my creative therapy. Not because I need to have therapy, but it's my time where I just kind of come down and quiet my thoughts and focus on the piece. And what is the road closed up here? Are you kidding me? Anyways, so I do a lot of creative therapy, is what I call it. I tried for a while there to are they gonna cross the street? To lost my train of thought. People are looking at me. To do videos of how to create things and how to build things, but I found out very quickly I was struggling so hard to come up with words or to even want to do it, because it dawned on me that that's my therapy, that's my time. I don't want to be talking about it when I'm doing it. I want to embrace it. I'll show you the things that I make, and I've got to try and sell them. I try and sell them to clients, and I just put them out there because I can't possibly keep it all for myself. My house would look ridiculous. But now I try and make things in a different color scheme so that I can't keep it. But anyways, back to the point. There's lots of different ways of therapy that you can deal with your anxiety or to calm you down and stuff. And creating is just one of mine. The problem is, it's, you just need to move it because you run out of room. So, I feel like somebody next to me is staring at me, but he's not. Okay. This is interesting when you're driving around and you're talking to yourself. I'm sure people think I just have a earbud in my head, which you can't see beyond the hair, but I can see myself in the video, and that's kind of odd, but it is what it is. So I'm feeling okay. I'm getting stopped. Now, I will tell you one thing. You might think this is silly, but Fred Meyer is literally around the corner from my house. It's not even a mile away, I don't think. But sometimes, majority of the time, for the last 7 years, just getting there has been incredibly difficult. Getting there and then going in and staying calm enough to do what I need to do has been really difficult. So I've done it a couple times where I haven't recorded, even going, just because I kind of just do it, and it's been all right, but I definitely limit myself. So, sorry, people crossing the street in front of me. So, right now I'm getting ready to pull up, and I feel okay, but I have like this plan, like you make a plan so that you have a quick escape or things like that, so that you can get out if you need to. And part of me is like, well, do I really want to do that, or do I want to push myself? So I am only going to the garden center. That was my plan for the trip, and I don't want to push myself to where I make myself anxious and then avoid doing things because, oh great, now I'm creating a fear of Fred Meyer. So there's like no parking over here though. Isn't that great? I was hopefully gonna find me a close spot, because that helps too. It's all these little things until I'm ready to park 500 feet away or 1,000 feet away. I like to find close parking spots. It just makes me feel better. Why is nobody leaving? Gate's open, so that's good. I can go in here, but nobody is leaving so that I can be close. But alrighty then. So we are gonna park where we get to park. I think I'm gonna go park over there. I'm just gonna park by myself over in a different location. Because I feel okay. I feel like I'm alright. So I'm gonna put you guys on hold or pause or whatever. I don't even know how to work this thing, so we'll find out how that works. And then I'm gonna come back and let you know how things are going. So I'm here, I'm at the garden center. Let's go find some plants that repel mosquitoes.